Hello, everyone. Today on Good Morning Maine, a washed-out train track in Orneville sends a locomotive flying from the rails.
Plus, a federal appeals court has promising news for Maine lobstermen as they fight new regulations.
And we'll look into Bangor's plan to create an area for tiny homes to help ease the housing crisis.
Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Maine. I'm Emma Smith.
And I'm Craig Holson. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning. We're going to start things off with a check of our forecast, as we always do. We've had a little bit of rain, washouts, all kinds of messy weather recently, but it looks like a nice stretch is upon us finally.
Looks like we're in the clear for the weekend even. Yeah. But Devin Biggs has all the details.
And thank you very much, Craig and Emma. Happy Thursday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Shepherd Toyota, your hometown connection for Toyota cars and trucks. Easy to find on Route 1, Rockland, Thomas, and Town Line. Shepherd Toyota has a great selection of new and previously loved vehicles. At Shepherd Toyota, they don't sell you a car, they help you buy one. Come experience the Shepherd difference today. All right, let's get things rolling out there this morning. A few counties under a frost advisory still, where growing season is still going on, but everyone else pretty much cooling off as we head to the latter parts of fall. Small craft advisory is up until 6 a.m. on Friday, though, as the ocean does continue to remain active. Here we are, radar and satellite. This is a nice sight to see. Things finally starting to calm down around here, though, as this front is now tracked off towards the east. A lot of clearing of the skies. The next several days will feature plenty of sunshine. We'll have to wait until next week for our next round of a few showers. I'll begin to move in yet again. But here's the wide picture. This front's finally out of here, and high pressure is going to be just to our south moving in. So those mean some nice weather on the way for us coming up. So for today, though, maybe a few clouds across the northern ends of the state. But for us, looking pretty good with a lot of sunshine that will begin to be seen today. Otherwise, though, the winds could get a little gusty again. It'll be out of the southwest, some sustained winds up to 15 miles per hour at times, with some gusts even up to 25 miles per hour. Hourly forecast for the rest of the daytime period, a lot of sunshine, temperatures making it into the 50s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Craig and Emma?
It's looking pretty nice. Thank you very much, Devin. Well, crews will return to Orneville today to continue clearing train cars that jumped their tracks. No one was injured when the train ran across a washed-out section of track. Now, heavy equipment will be used to clear the site. Devin Dagnall has the story.
According to Canadian Pacific, at approximately 3:15 a.m., one of their trains derailed near Milo. As you can see, the pileup has created quite a mess along the tracks, with dirt and debris scattered along the tracks. Early reports said that tar was spilling from one of the train cars into a nearby stream. The Maine Department of Environmental Protection has since put out a statement saying that there has been no serious threat to the environment from the accident. Mark Willett, a resident and former CP employee who lives in earshot of the accident, says that he was able to hear the train as the derailment happened.
Well, I was up at 3 o'clock and I heard the train whistle. Must have been for the closest railroad crossing. And then all of a sudden I didn't hear the train go by and I heard kind of a rumbling noise, and that was it. Then about an hour later, the fire department was out in front of my house with the lights on and directing traffic.
CP says that none of the crew on the train was hurt, and there is currently no public safety issues. The accident has not blocked off the road, but it has temporarily been converted to a one-way street with a traffic light so that CP's responders can work safely. Some of the workers on site speculate that the work may take up to 3 days. In Orneville, I'm Devin Dagnall, reporting for ABC 7 and Fox 22.
A Robbinston woman was in court Wednesday afternoon to be arraigned for murder. 42-year-old Rebecca Moores was arrested in July in connection with the death of 53-year-old Paula Johnson. Johnson was found dead in her home at 515 Layton Road in Pembroke on February 9th. Moores pleaded not guilty to the murder charge during her arraignment.
Augusta police say they've arrested a suspect in a robbery at the Camden National Bank on Armory Street. It happened over the weekend. The Augusta Police Department says the arrest was made in partnership with the FBI. They arrested 37-year-old Joshua Broem, who is a recent resident of Gardner. They believe he's the masked man seen here holding up the bank. They say the vehicle suspected to be used in the alleged crime was located on Eastern Avenue in Augusta, and law enforcement was able to positively identify Broman as the robbery suspect. He's being held at the Kennebec County Jail with no bail allowed.
On Tuesday, Lincoln Police Department responded to a call of a disorderly person at the Lincoln Courthouse. Dustin Sellers was arrested in response to the call and was charged with assault on an officer, assault, disorderly conduct, and criminal threatening. He was transported to the Penobscot County Jail, where he is currently being held.
A former fire chief from Athens has been indicted for allegedly sexually assaulting a 9-year-old. 45-year-old Sean Boyd was arrested in July. Boyd allegedly sexually assaulted the child in 2014. The Somerset County grand jury indicted Boyd for gross sexual assault and unlawful sexual contact. A Waterville woman was also indicted in connection with a robbery at a Fairfield convenience store. Police say 32-year-old Bethany Hasten Muner and an accomplice robbed the Circle K in Norwich Walk back in May. It was on the Norwich Walk Road. They were found at a home in Waterville later that day. Hasten Muir was indicted for robbery and theft by unauthorized taking.
A house fire broke out in the town of Lincoln Tuesday morning. According to Lincoln Fire Chief Les Brown, the station received the call at 9:17 a.m. and quickly responded. Brown says that's when crews arrived. The back of the building was fully engulfed in smoke and fire, but it was quickly knocked down.
They did not have a wood stove going. They didn't have any other kind of heat source going, so we're suspecting it was a heat source in the back addition.
The Lincoln Fire Department says that there were no injuries and that the damage to the residents was minimal. And Brown says that the majority of the damage was from smoke and water, not the actual flames.
Great stop by fire crews. Well, Waterville was the scene of a scary crash Wednesday morning. 2 vehicles collided on Kennedy Memorial Drive just after 9:30. Officials say several people were injured and one of the cars ended up slamming into a nearby home. A dog was also injured in the crash and was brought to a local animal hospital. Officials say the jaws of life had to be used to remove some of the victims.
A local couple turned to modern technology to help stop a rash of thefts. They wish to remain anonymous, but tell us someone has been stealing their belongings from properties and job sites they own in the Herman area. After losing generators, tools, and other property, they decided to install cameras and air tag tracking devices on their remaining properties. One was in place Tuesday night when someone backed in and stole an expensive dump trailer. They watched the whole thing and tracked the stolen trailer to a home in East Corinth. The victims say the alleged crooks are well known to local police. The sheriff's office confirms the case is now under investigation.
In early September of this year, a federal judge sided with NOAA and ruled against the Maine Lobstermen's Association in its lawsuit against the agency. The lobstermen say the agency's plan to save the North Atlantic right whales is flawed, and now an appeals court has sided with them in their request to expedite the consideration of its appeal. In September 2021, the Lobstermen's Association filed suit challenging the 10-year whale protection plan that they say will all but eliminate the Maine lobster fishery and still fails to save the endangered North Atlantic right whale. The MLA argues that NOAA has overestimated the lobster industry's risk to the whales and also failed to follow mandatory legal requirements to assess the economic and social costs of their actions. In early September of this year, a federal judge in Washington, D.C. ruled against the Lobstermen Association's lawsuit and deferred to NOAA on all counts without disputing the validity of their concerns. As a result, NOAA is now fast-tracking the 10-year whale plan and will require Maine's lobster industry to implement what the industry calls an unachievable 90% risk reduction as quickly as possible, or the fishery could be shut down. In granting the motion for the expedited appeal, though, the court laid out a timeline that requires all briefs to be submitted by January 2023. The court rarely grants motions to expedite.
With Election Day being just under 3 weeks away, voters are already taking action. Secretary of State Shenna Bellows tells us that there have been over 100,000 requests for absentee ballots already. If you would like to vote that way, you still can. Reach out to your municipal office or go online to maine.gov to get your ballot. They are accepted now through the Thursday before the election.
We are so lucky in Maine. Our local election clerks are pros. Our elections are free, fair, and secure. Things are running very smoothly.
Bellows also says that most municipalities are doing well with volunteers signing up, but some are still looking for help. She says it doesn't matter what party you are associated with. You only need to be a resident of the county that you want to volunteer in.
Get involved. And if you haven't yet, sign up to vote. The midterm's coming up just a few weeks away now.
I know. Orono was specifically looking for a lot of help just a few weeks ago. That was a story we had. So all sorts of towns across the state.
If you have time and you've been looking for a way to get involved in your community, that's a great way to do it.
Absolutely. Well, the time is now 6:10. Coming up next on Good Morning Maine, Bangor is considering a proposal that could help some people live in a home of their own.
But first, let's take another look at that forecast. A delightful sunny day is on tap for us today. Mostly sunny skies with a high in the mid-50s. Looks like we'll see much of the same tomorrow, maybe even just a little bit warmer. Another mostly sunny day on the way.
She's been learning about the founding of our country, about rights and freedoms. Freedoms that today are under assault. Politician Bruce Poliquin supported amending the U.S. Constitution to ban abortion. He even voted for a nationwide ban. Poliquin would allow politicians to stand between women and their doctors. He supported allowing states to outlaw abortion even in cases of rape or incest. We can't let Bruce Poliquin back in Congress.
DCCC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Napa knows how to stay warm, and with 29 locations in Maine, Coastal Auto Parts has just what you need to prepare for any outdoor activity. Lightweight, durable, and designed for comfort, Milwaukee's heat-on-demand jackets and hoodies are perfect for cold weather. And stay warm even longer with a free battery when you purchase any M12 heated gear with Milwaukee's e-rebate program. And while you're here, sign up for Napa Rewards. You'll save more each time you shop. Coastal Auto Parts is owned and operated by a Maine family that cares.
You know, I love me some good GMA in the morning. Robin, George, Michael, and GMA. Now that's how you start your day.
Good morning, America.
Yep, bring your friends.
Steve Harvey says my Aunt Agnes has the world's biggest what? Big underwear.
Does Steve text his aunt, go for a swing, fall over laughing?
One time she had her panties hanging on the line. I went outside and was swinging them.
Weekdays at 9 on ABC 7.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. Senate President Troy Jackson, stood with Maine Senate District 16 candidate Dave LaFontaine in Waterville yesterday to clarify their support for law enforcement in the face of what they call lies about their stance on that issue.
They don't have anything. They lie about people's character.
Jackson says false ads not directly attributed to their opponents are spreading a message that both Jackson and LaFontaine support defunding the police, something both men assert is totally untrue. Jackson says at least one resident was accosted by a supporter of LaFontaine's opponent over a yard sign supporting LaFontaine, and their yard signs have been damaged or removed. Jackson says he has a clear and consistent record of supporting law enforcement, and LaFontaine is a first-time candidate who served as a firefighter and EMT for the city of Waterville and the town of Winslow. He was chief in both communities for the last 10 years.
This behavior that has been displayed by my opponent, I think, does not reflect the values of our communities. And it's, to me, it's been unheard of. I'm new to politics. I expected better. But I've taken the pledge as a clean election candidate that I would not attack my opponent's personality or anything like that.
And this is an unfortunate trend that we're seeing here in Maine with my colleagues. They're using national politics, bringing it in here to Maine, and making people feel very uncomfortable about the way things are going. Do right by the people of Maine and tell the people of Maine the truth that the Republican Party here in Maine has been doing. Dave?
Good afternoon, I'm Dave LaFountain, and I'm running for Maine State Senate. For 40 years,
Maine Senate District 16 seat.
Governor Janet Mills, meanwhile, was in Bangor and in Brewer yesterday to mark 1 year of her Maine Jobs and Recovery Plan. The governor visited heat pump manufacturer Nile Systems in Brewer and software developer Mobile Price Card in Bangor. The two businesses benefited from the Prime Fund grants, which aim to support technology companies around the state of Maine.
We're pleased that we're issuing another $5 million to this grant program to help industries and businesses such as this diversify, retain workers, and improve our ability to decarbonize.
Applications for the latest round of Prime grants closes on November 15th. For more information about the grants and eligibility, visit mainetechnology.org/recovery funding.
The city of Bangor is considering creating tiny home parks as a new way to add affordable housing. Matthew Juronsik has more on the story.
Bangor is in the process of allowing developers to construct tiny home parks to address the current housing crisis.
Right now, you can put a tiny home anywhere in the city of Bangor as long as you have utilities to the property. You can put them anywhere. But a tiny home park kind of takes it a step further to say, what if somebody wanted to create a development of tiny home parks?
Tiny home parks are defined as 2 or more tiny homes clustered together. Krieg says this plan has been in the works since 2019 based on recommendations made by the Affordable Housing Works Group in order to diversify the city's housing market. Tiny homes have become popular through social movements recommending people to downsize, and Krieg thinks these will help benefit the community.
There's a lot of buyers or people that are looking to rent that want to have their own space, and they also want to reduce their carbon footprint of where they live. Typically, a tiny home is very efficient in terms of its energy use. That provides an opportunity for people to sort of live less, live more, but live with less.
Developers say that working with the residents that live here is always their first priority. And the residents that I actually spoke to told me that they were glad the developers are putting in this much effort.
Well, I think it's great if they'll... I know it's hard for the people who live here because it's not very expensive. And most of us are on Social Security, so... if they can build little houses and help the people that need it, I think that's wonderful.
Developers like Louis Morrison understands the current situation and wants to do his part in retaining more residents.
Major affordable housing issue going on in Maine right now, and taking this old mobile home park that was very underutilized, only about 20% of it actually being used, and turning it into something a little bit different.
And with the overwhelming support this effort is receiving, the plan is set to be discussed in the coming days.
The planning board has recommended that it ought to pass to the city council, and the city council will take it up at their next meeting on October 24th.
Matthew Juronsik, ABC7 and Fox 22.
Very interesting. I don't know if I could live in a tiny home because I just need a little space, but I've seen them and they're actually pretty cool. It's kind of like renting maybe a motel room or something like that. It's a little bigger, but
I've thought about it. I'm a stuff person though, and I don't need all my stuff, so I'd have to downsize, but I'd try it.
Yeah, for some people they just love it. They think it's the way to go.
Yeah, so I like it.
And it will get more people in homes too. That's the important thing.
Absolutely.
Well, the time now is 6:18. Coming up after the break, we'll hear about the latest expansion project in the works for the Bangor YMCA.
Plus, a local florist gave away flowers yesterday while working to instill positivity in the area. We'll hear their message as Good Morning Maine continues.
Feel the difference of alpaca apparel from the Blue Alpaca Ranch and Store in Belfast. Stop by their ranch location to interact with these amazing animals and enjoy the beautiful Maine outdoors with your very own alpaca walk. Shop in-store or online today and take advantage of their free nationwide shipping. With their incredible selection of socks, sweaters, hats, and more, experience the unique qualities that alpaca fiber brings with the Blue Alpaca. Feel the difference. Did you know that it's possible to buy the wrong type of flooring for your home? Whether you're a do-it-yourselfer or professional contractor, the experts at Don DeKalb Mainwood Floors are here to help, offering solid pro advice from choosing the right material and color to installation. Don DeKalb features the highest quality hardwood flooring sourced from lumber right here in Maine, from Maine traditions. Not only will you get a floor you'll love, you'll get a floor that will last. Don DeKalb Mainwood Floors, buy from the best, forget the rest.
Jamar Construction Products in Bangor continues to grow to meet our customers' needs, supplying products for site work contractors, concrete contractors, and survey and safety supplies. We are proud to be the local dealer for Hilti, Valley Blades, U.S. Fabrics, and Euclid Chemical, plus so much more. Stop by and see us at 1270 Hammond Street or give us a call at 907-4491. If you dig it, pour it, plow it, fasten it, lay it, or lift it, Jamar Construction Products can help you.
Welcome back. There's a new project in the works over at the YMCA in Bangor. Diane Dickerson, the CEO at the Y, says they're moving into the next phase of an exciting project. Expansion has been part of the Bangor Y's plan since 2017. Bangor's economic plan would like for the Y to move as close to the downtown as possible. With demolition underway on Davis Court now, the YMCA still needs to raise money to build and expand. Dickerson says she's keeping details of the plan a secret for now, but promises to keep us updated. Very interesting. Apparently they bought some properties around the Y. They're tearing them down so they have some more space to grow. And
that area has changed a lot.
It sure has. We'll see what they do next.
Yeah. Well, the time is now 6:20.
Let's get a full look at our forecast. Looks like a wonderful day ahead. Here's Devin Biggs.
Good morning, Devin.
Alrighty, Craig and Emma, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Shepherd Toyota, your hometown connection for Toyota cars and trucks. Easy to find on Route 1, Rockland, Thomas, and Town Line. Shepherd Toyota has a great selection of new and previously loved vehicles. At Shepherd Toyota, they don't sell you a car, they help you buy one. Come experience the Shepherd difference today. All right, let's get things rolling out there this morning. We had a few areas under a frost advisory. That's getting dropped later this morning. There's other areas as well under a small craft advisory until 6 a.m. Friday, because even though things are calm on shore, we saw that front out towards sea, which is causing the surf to get just a little bit on the active side. But the good news is finally we can say goodbye to this system right here. That's now tracking from the west going toward the east. And not much behind it. You have to look toward Canada for anything else that's developing at this point. But for us, we're going to be looking pretty good moving forward with this front tracking off towards the east. There's another area of low pressure that's going to stay to our north, maybe send some clouds in our direction. But most of us will see a good amount of sunshine today with high pressure not too far away. Now, the gusty winds could be an issue in some areas today, reaching up to around 20 to 25 miles per hour. But pretty much staying at around 15 miles per hour otherwise, at least until we head towards early Friday morning when things begin to ease up just a little bit. Wave heights, this is why we still have small craft advisories in effect. 5 to 8 foot wave heights being noted according to some of the buoys out there. And until this cold front begins to move away, these wave heights will continue to remain a little on the high side. Our average high is 57 degrees. We'll reach for the middle to upper 50s today and tomorrow, with the middle 60s returning just in time for the weekend, with the upper 50s for your Monday, then back up into the middle 60s again as we head towards Tuesday and near Wednesday. Futurecast moving forward for today, a lot of sunshine, maybe a few clouds in the northern ends of the state, maybe a few passing clouds even early tonight as well. Further out towards the north, but Bangor to the south should be good with a mostly clear sky, maybe some areas of dense fog that could develop. But Friday, another nice day on the way with a lot of sunshine. Looking ahead towards the next week, though, here's that chance Sunday night and at least 2 parts of next week before more rainfall on the way. This is way out, so we have plenty of time to watch this, but maybe another couple inches of rain on the way between Sunday and at least parts of Thursday of next week, so we do have time to watch this. But for today, it's beautiful. Middle 50s, mostly sunny and breezy. That south wind getting up to around 25 miles per hour. For tonight, middle 30s, mostly clear areas of dense fog. South wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. For tomorrow, upper 50s, not bad, mostly sunny. A southwest wind backing off to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Shepherd Toyota extended forecast. Here we are, plenty of sunshine, at least through Saturday. Temperatures on Saturday rising to the mid-60s. We're still in the mid-60s on Sunday with a mostly cloudy sky. And more rain moving in Sunday night into Monday. Monday's high in the upper 50s.
Really doesn't get much better than that for this time of year anyway.
I know.
Usually we're bundled up. And
as the foliage passes, we have just enough warm days to check it out as the leaves fall.
Got to take advantage of it.
Yep. Well, when we return, a few national stories to keep you updated as Good Morning Maine continues.
It's simple, and it's not an imaginary threat. In fact, it's happening right now all over the country. Bruce Poliquin would hand over control of our healthcare decisions to politicians. Poliquin would allow politicians like him to make abortion illegal, even in the case of rape and incest. But that's not the end of the story. Poliquin also supported a national abortion ban, so even if Maine says no, we still lose control of our healthcare decisions. Bruce Poliquin is a risk we just can't take. Center Forward Committee is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Here is CVS Health, where they're working to eliminate the pink tax to ensure we don't pay more than men for the same thing. Because women's razors are just razors. Here, healthier happens together.
Okay, get this. This week I'm heading out, jumping on a plane, landing somewhere in America to help give someone, are you ready for this? $1 million. So who will it be? The $1 million giveaway. Watch it happen live only on GMA.
Join us every Friday this season as we celebrate the return to the gridiron with the most highlights, reaction, and analysis of your favorite teams. Catch Sports Blitz Friday at 11 on ABC7. Sports Blitz brought to you by Coastal Auto Parts, your local Napa Auto Parts dealer with 29 locations, owned and operated by a Maine family that cares. And by Dorsey Furniture, Route 1A Holdings, where you'll find furniture that's in stock and ready for delivery.
It's been a great summer at Dorsey Furniture, but it's time to start thinking about fall. Our new fall introductions are arriving daily and we need to make room. This means big discounts on selected items. How big? Half off. We didn't stop with just a few items. We have marked down every item in every department. Come to Dorsey Furniture during our fall clearance sale and you won't be disappointed. Dorsey Furniture, Route 1A, Holden.
You're watching ABC7 Bangor.
And now for your national news. Russian President Vladimir Putin declared martial law in the 4 regions of Ukraine Moscow recently annexed. This is as the Russian army continues their attacks on various parts of Ukraine. Fox's Trey Yingst has more from Kyiv.
During 24 hours, more than 10 regions were subject to Russian terrorist strikes.
Ukraine hit with several missiles Wednesday as Moscow continues to ramp up attacks targeting civilians. In the latest wave of strikes to cripple Ukraine's infrastructure, a Russian missile hit a thermal power plant in the west. According to Ukraine's president, Volodymyr Zelensky, a third of his country's power stations have been taken out, cutting power and water supplies to hundreds of thousands.
We are all seeing that the enemy is attacking critical infrastructure. Unfortunately, our region experienced missile fire today once again. The Burshin thermal power station was hit, which caused the fire.
In eastern Ukraine, emergency workers have their hands full. Paramedics dodging live rounds while trying to treat an injured woman in the Donetsk region. Part of the area is under Kyiv's control, but has seen intense fighting in recent weeks. First responders say despite the danger, they'll do whatever it takes to protect their home.
Yes, it is what it is. We are fighting for our homes, for our Ukraine, for our homeland.
As some Ukrainians are forced to duck constant shelling, the Kremlin warning others in the Kherson region to flee their homes. Tens of thousands of civilians and Russian-appointed officials getting on boats ahead of a possible Ukrainian push forward. The evacuations come as Ukraine's army regains more territory on the southern front. Ukrainian officials say residents in Kherson can ignore warnings to evacuate, adding this is just a Russian tactic to cause panic. In Kyiv, Trey Yingst, Fox News.
Well, meanwhile, some farmers facing economic difficulties are getting a break. The U.S. Department of Agriculture is giving debt relief to 36,000 U.S. farmers. The USDA will provide $1.3 billion for those who have fallen behind on loan payments or face foreclosures. The financial struggles include drought and transportation bottlenecks. Some farmers delinquent on direct or guaranteed loan payments for 60 days will get automatic electronic payments.
Former President Trump answering questions yesterday under oath in a rape defamation lawsuit filed by a magazine columnist. E. Jean Carroll says Trump raped her in a department store dressing room in the mid-1990s. Carroll's lawyers interrogating Trump about the assault allegations, as well as statements he made in 2019 when she told her story publicly for the first time. This deposition has been a long time coming, as the lawsuit was filed when Trump was president, during which his legal team worked to delay the deposition. Anything Trump said yesterday could potentially be used as evidence in an upcoming civil trial.
The fentanyl epidemic is not just in big cities. Many smaller communities find themselves at the finish line of a massive international smuggling operation controlled by large drug cartels. Mike Tobin has more from Charleston, West Virginia.
Like you always do, get me some solid video.
Most drug cases begin with confidential informants.
It was 140 cents always.
They're given marked bills, sent to meet a dealer, and come back with drugs.
Some heroin / fentanyl.
that repeats. Different informants, different dealers, and small drug purchases.
We're going to buy $350 worth of fentanyl.
As rural America is flooded with drugs, West Virginia has the sad distinction of leading the nation for drug overdose mortality. In 2020, for every 100,000 people in the Mountain State, 84 died from overdose. This year, nearly 96% of the deaths are caused by fentanyl.
As a parent, you're always waiting on the call.
Cece Brown understands the impact. Her son Ryan was hooked on opiates. One night, a detective came by.
He said, I'll never forget this, and this kind of replays in my mind over and over. Ryan passed away tonight.
The work that was done yesterday with the informants was to establish probable cause. There's probably a stash of dope in the house where they were working. Then they go to the judge, get a warrant, and the guys in this task force are about to execute that warrant.
Hands up. Put your hands up, boys. Police search warrant. Police search warrant. Hands behind your backs now.
By the time the drugs get to rural America, they have been divided up into small portions for individual use. The haul from this raid was a gun, cash, some meth, and of course fentanyl. As it proves time and again, just a small amount of this fentanyl can be fatal.
There's not a family in this area that hasn't been touched by this crisis. That's a guarantee.
The suspect caught in this raid now gets pressed to become an informant himself and give police information about his suppliers. That's a big part of how the drug enforcement game goes. Cops press low-level operatives to give them information on suppliers up the chain. The traffickers try to get around the police, meet the demand, and make their money. In Charleston, West Virginia, Mike Tobin, Fox News.
Unfortunately, a similar story could be said for just about every little small town in Maine these days. It's the epidemic that's touching families far and near.
Cities and rural areas alike. Mm-hmm. Yep, all special issues everywhere. Yep. Well, still to come here on the second half of our show, we'll have your latest foliage report.
Plus, to complement that, your full weather forecast with meteorologist Devin Biggs. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Looking for your dream home? Contact a Next Homie today and see what's available right now. Sellers, get ready to get looped and get sold. With Next Home Experience, we have your buyers.
Need to unwind from a long day of work? Come experience life at Mad Cat & Company Bar and Grill in the North Brewer Shopping Plaza, where we serve delicious food, ice-cold beer, and unique cocktails. We have a fully stocked bar, American pub-style food, exemplary service, a fun atmosphere, and plenty of weekly entertainment. We now offer Sunday morning brunch, and stick around with the kiddos for Sunday afternoon kids karaoke and dance party. Our newly remodeled banquet room offers plenty of space for your next get-together. It's never a dull moment at Mad Cat's because we are the party.
I'm Jared Golden, and I approve this message.
Veterans need a congressman who's got their backs. Jared Golden does. Jared's a veteran himself and worked with Republicans and Democrats to get the VA to build an inpatient facility in Maine to treat mental health and substance use disorders. Bruce Poliquin didn't have my back. Poliquin helped create a commission that wants to close VA facilities across Maine, forcing veterans to travel even further for VA care. Veterans can't trust Bruce Poliquin.
I was not going to pay for this work.
You're not getting your house done for free.
Painting her whole house only got him half the money.
Did you, during that time, say this is not good?
Yes.
How many days did you give him to do that work?
It was 5 days.
Well, that's impossible.
As she painted herself into a corner,
He found out I was selling the home and sent a threatening letter.
I would have done the exact same thing to you.
Judge Judy.
Thursday at 5, only on ABC7.
Hello, Maine. This is Steve McKay. Not sure what the weather will be in your neck of the woods, but there's a 100% chance of Luke showing up near you. Next Home Experience is listing and selling homes throughout Maine. Get looped and get sold with Next Home Experience.
You're watching ABC7 Bangor.
2022, there are 72 days left in the year. How about that? On this day in history, in 1803, the U.S. Senate ratified the Louisiana Purchase. In 1947, the House Un-American Activities Committee opened hearings into alleged communist influence in the motion picture industry. And in 1979, the John F. Kennedy Library and Museum was dedicated in the city of Boston.
Today's birthdays include actor Viggo Mortensen, who is 64, rapper Snoop Dogg is 51, and actor John Krasinski from The Office is 43 years old.
I love The Office.
I do too.
Such a funny show.
I do too.
Really enjoy that.
John Krasinski was in a horror movie, The Quiet Place, a few years ago too, which it made me so happy because he showed that he's one of those actors that, yeah, this man's got range.
He does.
Good for him.
Yeah, I don't remember the name of it now. He did that whole action thriller thing over in the Middle East too, which was really good.
Yeah, good point.
Can't remember the name.
I can't remember either.
Yeah, I want more of that, though.
Yeah. I'd love to see somebody with range. That's exciting.
I want more of this weather that we're going to get today, too. It's going to be a beautiful sunny day out there.
I know, but before we get to that, we do have the foliage report.
Oh, that's right. Can't forget that. A good day to go check out the foliage, of what's left of it anyway.
Right. You got to scroll for me.
Okay. Here we go. I'm falling asleep.
No, you're good. More coffee. Well, the Maine Foliage Report released an updated map of the leaf peeping conditions yesterday, so it's quite updated. It's that time already. I know we're already 2/3 of the way through October, and the Maine Department of Agriculture, Conservation, and Forestry's final foliage report indicates past peak conditions for most of the state. Peak conditions are, though, still occurring in southern parts of the state.
So if you want to see the best foliage, I guess, head to the coast, down to Acadia or wherever your favorite place is, and check out the leaves before they're gone.
I know, it's still like that in the area, and it looks like a beautiful forecast, too, so Devin has all the details if you're planning on doing that.
And thank you very much, Craig and Emma. Happy Thursday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Shepherd Toyota, your hometown connection for Toyota cars and trucks. Easy to find on Route 1 Rockland Thomas and Town Line. Shepherd Toyota has a great selection of new and previously loved vehicles. At Shepherd Toyota, they don't sell you a car, they help you buy one. Come experience the Shepherd difference today. All right, let's get things rolling out there this morning. A few counties under a frost advisory still, where growing season is still going on, but everyone else pretty much cooling off as we head into the latter parts of fall. Small craft advisory is up until 6 a.m. on Friday, though, as the ocean does continue to remain active. Here we are, radar and satellite. This is a nice sight to see. Things finally starting to calm down around here, though, as this front is now tracked off towards the east. A lot of clearing of the skies. The next several days will feature plenty of sunshine. We'll have to wait until next week for our next round of a few showers. I'll begin to move in yet again. But here's the wide picture. This front's finally out of here, and high pressure is going to be just to our south moving in. So that does mean some nice weather on the way for us coming up. So for today, though, maybe a few clouds across the northern ends of the state, but for us, looking pretty good with a lot of sunshine that will begin to be seen today. Otherwise, though, the winds could get a little gusty again. It'll be out of the southwest, some sustained winds up to 15 miles per hour at times, with some gusts even up to 25 miles per hour. Hourly forecast for the rest of the daytime period, a lot of sunshine, temperatures making it into the 50s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Craig and Emma.
Not bad at all. We'll take that.
Yeah.
Well, Bangor Floral joined the nationwide effort to pedal it forward at Bangor's West Market Square. Strangers received 2 free flowers yesterday, one to keep and one to give to a friend, family member, loved one, or even a stranger. Organized by the Society of American Florists, this random act of kindness was designed to help start people's day with a smile and less stress. Bangor Floral Office Manager Heather Murray explains why people should join the effort to pedal it forward.
Studies have shown that smiling reduces depression, and, let's just make the world a happier place.
For information on the health effects of flowers, be sure to check out aboutflowers.com/research. Who doesn't like to get something like that? Creating some smiles in downtown Bangor.
Of flowers, definitely some serotonin involved in there.
Yeah.
Sunflowers especially. It's like, oh, do I get vitamin D from this? Well, still to come here on our morning show, the latest on the local sports with Tyler Cruz.
Drink more coffee.
I know, I'm getting there.
Back with more after the break.
I was a public health nurse for 29 years. I went into the homes of my neighbors, including many seniors, and cared for them. Then Paul LePage became governor, and everything changed. He kicked seniors off Maine's low-cost prescription drug plan. He cut a Social Security program when it was needed most, and even opposed Meals on Wheels funding. How cruel is that? We can't go back to Paul LePage.
The top funder of Better Maine is the Democratic Governors Association. If you are suffering hearing loss, take advantage of the new technology and let Wanda Creed, hearing aid specialist at Zulus Hearing Aid Center, introduce you to the all-new Evolve AI, Starkey's complete line of smartphone-connected hearing aids. Evolve AI is loaded with the most innovative technology and the clearest sound ever. And Evolve AI connects easily to Apple and Android devices, the Thrive Hearing Control app, and Siri to read text and emails. For better hearing and connection, call Wanda for an appointment at Zulus Hearing Aid Center, 263 State Street, Bangor.
Harvested in the backwoods of Maine. Processed at one of 4 lumber mills across the state. And sold locally at a Ware Butler location near you. With delivery available statewide. Ware Butler Building Supply, Maine, from start to finish.
Put a little more cash in your bank. Save money with half-off deals at foxbangor.com.
Welcome back in. Thank you for staying with us. We will start with some news out of the high school hockey world. The season is supposed to begin in less than 2 weeks, but as of right now, there is still no contract between the Maine high school hockey officials and the MPA. Right now, the MPA is not canceling the season, but the officials are holding their ground. This spring, the Officials Advisory Committee issued a new contract proposal for all high school officials, one with pay increases over a 3-year deal, but hockey and lacrosse did not sign the contract, with hockey officials saying the sport should be treated differently due to the cost of equipment, travel, and the special skill set needed. They need to know how to skate, a little dangerous out on the ice. In a letter sent out on Wednesday, the committee said they would not open up negotiations, but would be willing to approve a 1-year contract for ice hockey. The officials are asking for $90 per game. Right now, all Maine high school officials are being paid $82 per game. So that leaves over 1,000 athletes in the balance, and athletic directors are trying to figure out how to have a season with officials. We'll provide updates as they are made available to us. Let's stay with some high school sports now. Last day of the regular season for fall sports, teams trying to grab that final win of the year and gear up for playoffs. A lot of soccer action on Wednesday, and that is where we're headed. A Class A matchup between Camden Hills and Brewer over at Cameron Stadium in Bangor early in the first half. The shot from Camden Hills' Sydney Stone. Save made by Bella Tanis. Score still knotted at 0, but not for long. Here is Britta Denny. She's going to take it all the way down and just edge it past Tanis for the goal. Makes it 1-0 Windjammers with 28 left in the half. So just a couple of minutes later now, the Windjammers, again, here they come. Here's Brenna Jackie. She is going to bend this one right off of the left post and in. That gives Cameron Hills a 2-0 lead. We're still in the first half. Here's Amelia Johnson, and she chips it in from outside the box. That makes it 3-0 Windjammers, and that's how it would end too, so they get that win heading into playoffs.
Well, definitely if we play like that, we're going to go far, I hope, to the championships. We're working really hard, and I think if we keep it up, we'll get there.
Same place, just 2 different teams now. Class B matchup, John Bapst looking to finish unbeaten. Herman looking to end the year with a win. First half, Bapst on the move. Here's Jack Mason. A great ball. Connor Maservi gets a hand on it. He can't corral it. Hunter Kluge knocks it in. It's 1-0. Corner kick for Bapst. Kluge sending it in, and it's John Pangburn using his head as a weapon there. Finds the back of the net for the goal. That's 2-0. Herman now. They're trying to get on the board at the end of the game on the corner kick. But here is Matt Fitzpatrick with the save. A little bit of a double doink there. He pitches a shutout, and the Crusaders win 2-0. They finish the year 13-0-1.
We just got to keep playing our possession style, and if we play our game, then we'll be doing just fine. I think what sets our team apart is that our communication and our ability to play together as a team. I mean, we play together, we're on the field, off the field together, and I think that really helps our game.
And the nightcap now at Cameron. A triple header there. Bangor and Hamden Academy. It was cold, but the Rams were hot. 3-1 Bangor in the second half. Here comes Emmy Streams with the wheels, and then she deals it right inside of the post. That is 4-1 Bangor. A couple of minutes later, a nice pass from Olivia Scott here. That finds Tegan Atherley. She's not cold anymore. She's going to put it in. It's 5-1 Rams. They were not done there, though. Here comes Lily Chandler. 3 goals in 4 minutes for the Rams after Chandler snipes that one in. They would add one more. They'd go on to win 7-1. All right, let's talk some football. Over to the Patriots. Them and the Chicago Bears will square off on Monday Night Football at Gillette Stadium. And still, the question remains, who will be under center for the Patriots? I feel like a broken record at this point. I can imagine how Bill Belichick feels. He has a good problem on his hands, though, on who to start. Mac Jones, who's inching closer to 100% on that left ankle, or do you ride the wave with Bailey Zappi? 2-0 in his young career. He's taken Pat's Nation by storm. At his weekly presser on Wednesday, Belichick still won't give away who his starter is, but the excuse this time is too early in the week to tell.
I have total trust in Mac and our conversations over the last couple of years. But we'll see how it goes. I don't know. We're not practicing today. We're gonna, get a jump on the Bears on some meetings and film work and things like that, and then we'll practice tomorrow. So we'll give you the injury report tomorrow. Let you know how things are then. But really, it's nothing to talk about today.
All right. So we'll have an update on Thursday. That's all the time we have for sports. We'll be right back after the break.
I'll always be an independent fighter for you.
Maybe he used to be. But when it mattered, Jared Golden helped Joe Biden hike taxes by billions on people making as little as $20,000 a year and nearly doubled the IRS, targeting middle-class families for more, all while giving new tax breaks to the elite. Jared Golden. He's not our independent fighter anymore. Congressional Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Now's the time to get a great deal on taking care of your property. You need tractors rated #1 in durability and owner experience so you can do it all and do it right. Z-Series mowers that deliver a quality cut, and Sidekick utility vehicles where durability meets speed. Right now, bring home the Kubota VX Series for 0 down, 0% APR for 60 months, plus save up to $700.
Leona May's Antique and Gift Shop is now open in Newport. Our unique building is a converted 1800s single-family home that we've given a new life to. A home for treasures, from antiques, collectibles, unique gifts, and so much more. Come make the rounds throughout the many rooms on all 3 floors as you wander back in time, or find a unique gift that's perfect for that special someone or that hard-to-buy-for relative. So come visit us today. Leona May's Antique and Gift Shop, 147 Main Street, Newport.
For many of us, accessing the internet is as easy as grabbing our smartphones, laptops, or tablets. But for some Americans who have access to fast speed service isn't as available. Fox News' Ted Linder takes a look at the new data highlighting the ongoing internet inequality.
The internet has helped make the world seem a little less small. And during the height of the pandemic, internet connected so many people forced to stay apart. But there's a darker side of the service many of us take for granted.
Technology is neither good nor bad, but it's also not neutral.
Technology nonprofit group The Markup examined more than 800,000 internet service offers from AT&T, CenturyLink, Earthlink, and Verizon across 38 cities. And according to its data, The Markup found all 4 internet providers, quote, routinely offered fast-paced speeds at or above 200 megabits per second in some neighborhoods for the same price as connections below 25 megabits per second in others. The report also found in 9 out of 10 cities, neighborhoods with the worst internet deals and slower speeds predominantly had lower incomes. 2/3 of cities with poorer speeds were also less white.
Unless we are properly connected, citizens cannot participate in all these aspects of our life.
For some people, researchers found their internet speeds weren't sufficient enough for them to run programs like Zoom. And going forward, communications experts say consumers will only need faster internet as technology evolves.
We'll need 100 megabit per second download and 20 megabit per second upload speeds, and most likely in another 5 to 10 years it will be in the gigabit range.
Analysts say internet inequality is due in part to gaps in infrastructure and wealth. Adding the problem can limit people's work and school opportunities, affecting their finances and career advancement. Ted Linder, Fox News.
Well, meanwhile, Netflix says it may start charging subscribers an extra fee for sharing their accounts. The fee additions may run $3 to $4 per account holder based on a current Latin America pilot program. Costs could vary based on the price of the initial account. Netflix has proposed cracking down on the use of shared passwords, saying it costs the company about $6 billion in lost revenue yearly. when those other users aren't paying. All right, time to turn our attention to the weather. As we've been saying all hour, just a gorgeous day ahead of us.
I know, and the weekend is a continuation of that. Good morning, Devin.
Alrighty, Craig and Emma, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Shepherd Toyota, your hometown connection for Toyota cars and trucks. Easy to find on Route 1, Rockland, Thomas, and Town Line. Shepherd Toyota has a great selection of new and previously loved vehicles. At Shepherd Toyota, they don't sell you a car, they help you buy one. Come experience the Shepherd difference today. All right, let's get things rolling out there this morning. We had a few areas under a frost advisory. That's getting dropped later this morning. There's other areas as well under a small craft advisory until 6 a.m. Friday, because even though things are calm on shore, we saw that front out towards sea, which is causing the surf to get just a little bit on the active side. But the good news is finally we can say goodbye to this system right here. That's now tracking from the west going toward the east. And not much behind it. You have to look toward Canada for anything else that's developing at this point. But for us, we're going to be looking pretty good moving forward with this front tracking off towards the east. There's another area of low pressure that's going to stay to our north, maybe send some clouds in our direction. But most of us will see a good amount of sunshine today with high pressure not too far away. Now, the gusty winds could be an issue in some areas today, reaching up to around 20 to 25 miles per hour. But pretty much staying at around 15 miles per hour otherwise, at least until we head towards early Friday morning when things begin to ease up just a little bit. Wave heights, this is why we still have small craft advisories in effect. 5 to 8 foot wave heights being noted according to some of the buoys out there. And until this cold front begins to move away, these wave heights will continue to remain a little on the high side. Our average high is 57 degrees. We'll reach for the middle to upper 50s today and tomorrow, with the middle 60s returning just in time for the weekend, with the upper 50s for you Monday, then back up into the middle 60s again as we head towards Tuesday and near Wednesday. Futurecast moving forward for today, a lot of sunshine, maybe a few clouds in the northern ends of the state, maybe a few passing clouds even early tonight as well. Further out towards the north, but Bangor to the south should be good with a mostly clear sky, maybe some areas of dense fog that could develop. But Friday, another nice day on the way with a lot of sunshine. Looking ahead towards the next week, though, here's that chance Sunday night and at least 2 parts of next week before more rainfall on the way. This is way out, so we have plenty of time to watch this, but maybe another couple inches of rain on the way between Sunday and at least parts of Thursday of next week, so we do have time to watch this. But for today, it's beautiful. Middle 50s, mostly sunny and breezy. That south wind getting up to around 25 miles per hour. For tonight, middle 30s, mostly clear areas of dense fog. South wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. For tomorrow, upper 50s, not bad, mostly sunny. A southwest wind backing off to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chevrolet Toyota extended forecast. Here we are, plenty of sunshine, at least through Saturday. Temperatures on Saturday rising to the mid-60s. We're still in the mid-60s on Sunday with a mostly cloudy sky. And more rain moving in Sunday night into Monday. Monday's high in the upper 50s.
Senator Joe Baldacci, hardworking, independent, and effective. Joe has always been a champion for Maine seniors. Joe Baldacci sponsored and passed the legislation that generated more than $90 million to nursing homes in Bangor and across the state that have been hit hard by the pandemic. Joe Baldacci delivered on funding to protect health care and important services for thousands of Maine seniors. Joe Baldacci, hardworking, independent, and effective, delivering results for Bangor and Herman.
It's simple, and it's not an imaginary threat. In fact, it's happening right now all over the country. Bruce Poliquin would hand over control of our healthcare decisions to politicians. Poliquin would allow politicians like him to make abortion illegal, even in the case of rape and incest. But that's not the end of the story. Poliquin also supported a national abortion ban, so even if Maine says no, we still lose control of our healthcare decisions. Bruce Poliquin is a risk we just can't take. Center Forward Committee is responsible for the content of this advertising.
You'll find something for everyone at Maine's #1 Kia dealer, Van Sickle Kia. Looking for an excellent all-wheel drive SUV? Kia has you covered with the all-new all-wheel drive 2023 Kia Sportage, or check out the 2023 Kia Forte with a list of standard Kia driver assist features, including auto emergency braking and up to 41 mpg highway. With 15 models to choose from, Kia has you covered, and you'll get Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty.
The best cars, the best prices, and the best warranty. I'm Peter Van Sickle. I guarantee it.
New Shark Tank Fridays on ABC.
Sponsored locally by Comfort Shoes and More, 19 Moosehead Trail, Newport. More than 40 years of helping people out of foot pain.
What are you doing here?
I may have given her permission to use the interns.
you get the benefit of working with yet another world-renowned surgeon, Dr. Montgomery.
And coming up, we'll have Mr. Food in the test kitchen. We'll see what he's cooking up today.
I'm hungry. Bring it on.
You know, it's hard to think of lasagna without thinking about how all those layers of goodness create one incredible dish. Well, today, we're creating a to-die-for dessert, which uses the same layer after layer concept, and the results are nothing short of amazing. The first thing we do is mix some crushed chocolate sandwich cookies with butter and press them into the bottom of a baking dish. While that chills, we beat together some cream cheese with vanilla and powdered sugar until it's smooth. Then we fold in some whipped topping. This goes over the cookie crumb crust. See, it's sort of like building a lasagna. A layer of chocolate pudding goes over that, and back into the fridge it goes. The whole thing gets finished with whipped topping, and after it's chilled, we sprinkle each piece with some mini chocolate chips. All it takes is one forkful, and you'll know why we fell in love with this. I mean, what's not to love about all the layers of goodness? The recipe for what we call our chocolate dessert lasagna is ready and waiting for you on our website. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a layer after layer way for you to say, ooh, it's so good. I have all this.
Boy, that really does look good, too.
That's a good idea, maybe for Thanksgiving, or if you're not super confident on your crust skills or pie skills. That's a.
People eat it up. It's healthy too. Is if you put the strawberries on the side like they had there. Right. So then it's health
fruit
food
in there. Yeah.
Now
I
you know
like
how
the
I
way
roll.
you think. Yeah. Well, a recent study says adding more nature space could help many people in poorer areas, add years to their lives. Scientists with the University of Glasgow in Great Britain say increasing natural spaces such as parks and gardens helps drop death rates in people under 65.
They add it could be key to narrowing death rates between the rich and poor. The researchers say each 10% of natural spaces added, there was a decrease in death by 7%. The study combined disease data with geographic zones and could help shape health policies in the future. It makes sense, too. I always feel better. You get outside and stretch your legs, get some fresh air.
Yeah.
We're lucky to be in Maine to have so many places where you can do that kind of thing. So,
I know. We are in Maine for that reason. I've seen that study kind of align with others of the more, if you live in a city, the more walkable the city is, the better the people are. I mean, if there's bus routes and people can, you can get to work easier and maybe you can enjoy your way to work. So it's
get some vitamin D, some fresh air, and it'll make your day that much better.
It's intuitively better for you. That's awesome. I like that study. Well, Good Morning America is next on ABC 7.
We hope you'll stick around for that, and we very much appreciate you joining us today. Have a good day.